Go.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1, 4, 7, 3 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down2dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
Slam throw.
Potato.
Be yourself is all that you can do. Oh, so I'm there.
I love POD. And Jay.
It's Jay. Is that POD?
Boom! Here comes a boom. Ready or not.
It wasn't.
Here come the boys from the south.
Not POD, but I did love POD.
I was going to say, I saw them live. That did not
Really?
sound like- oh, yeah. I was a huge POD fan.
That's awesome.
Pit on death.
There's a
Cool.
season I liked POD. I would go see POD and Incubus just like all the time.
Oh,
Wow.
dude, that is the most early 2000s.
It was very much. When y'all were doing emo, I was doing like, I
Yeah.
guess, kind of rock metal. I don't know.
Yeah.
what those
Yeah,
you would
whatever
consider
that
those
was.
Little 7-string guitars.
Yeah. A lot of drop D for
Drop
those
D.
two.
So the final started last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics looked really good against the Mavericks.
Yeah.
They took the Mavericks out of what they like to do really fast, and then you saw them go into like a full-blown panic almost
Mhm.
during this game.
Felt good.
It was good to see. The stat that I uncovered last night that I did not like to see was this: the Celtics forced the Mavs into only 3 corner threes last night. 1 within competitive play. Only 1 within competitive play. The other 2 happened in the fourth quarter late. Guess how many on average the Mavericks took every single game against the Thunder?
9.
On average
Nine.
in the 6 games.
I'd say over 9.
I'd say 15.
12.
L-Man's way closer than any of y'all. It's
Really?
16.
Oh, pay up.
16.
Pay up, boys.
That was a $300 bet, by the way.
Yep.
You're gonna have to pay
Dang
Luke
it, I
for
hate those surprise bets.
Yep.
I hate secret bets.
it was a secret bet.
Pay up.
Nothing you can do about it.
The thing about secret bets is it doesn't matter if you agree to it or not.
Nope.
Nope. That's
You're locked in.
Binding.
Dang it.
Each of you owe him.
All right, man. I'll
Lucas-
Venmo you.
Luke is $600 richer now. Yeah, and then they also took away all the lobs.
Yeah.
All of the lobs
If
last night.
if the Thunder would do that, it would have been a 4-game series. It would been over. That's all they did to us.
Yeah.
That was our entire
Yeah.
that was in a
They took
month
16
of our
yeah.
lives.
Some of it is the personnel. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
so I had a friend who was texting me because he just didn't really watch the Celtics this year and has really grown to love the Mavericks actually kind of throughout the series because they kind of like the way Luka plays as far as the trash
Whining.
talking more
Yeah.
so. And he was like, I had no idea the Celtics were this good. I was like, dudes, throughout the season, they were putting up elite levels of statistics. Like their net rating, their offensive rating, their defensive rating, their record for the year, like they were really good all year.
You just don't give them credit because they're the Celtics.
It's not, for me, it's not even like the overall. Are you talking overall franchise Celtics?
No. I'm just talking about the last
Couple years.
3-4 years where they look this amazing and then they come up short or they, poop the bed in the playoffs. And it's like, what is
And they've even been doing it in this postseason where it's been like they just have looked mediocre at times throughout the postseason.
Every series, though, the other team's best player's been hurt. I mean, it's been the easiest series.
Yeah. So on the Athletic NBA show last night, I was talking to Jay King, and he said he felt like the Celtics playoffs started last night in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And
totally.
that Jaylen Brown kind of said that after the game too. Like Jaylen Brown said the game started in the third quarter for them, but Jay was like, honestly, the playoffs started for them in the third quarter.
Yeah, they've just been like cruise control through.
Yeah.
Dude, they have Donovan Mitchell gets hurt. Tyrese Halliburton gets hurt.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's the easiest pathway to the finals.
Yeah.
And they
look
get the
healthy.
5 seed Mavs.
They look
in the
healthy.
finals.
Right.
So like they better win because they were one of the best regular season teams of all time. They're healthy now. Porzingis looked amazing last night.
Oh my god!
Like so, like
Some of that was like a little. It felt like a little out of the norm.
I mean, he had
Incredible.
18 points in like 13
and some of those
minutes.
jump shots were just like everything's going in.
He hit that one. He hit that one deep three.
It's
And,
like the time when somebody comes in, like if you haven't played in a while, or you've been hurt and you come in and just your adrenaline and hype is like on overdrive, and every first thing starts going in, and then everything starts going in.
You're just not thinking.
He could have like rumble shot that backward from half court, and it was probably going in.
He was great, but also like this has never happened before with a player that has been out for this long to come back in the NBA Finals. That's this impactful. It's not happened in NBA history where a guy's come back and played like this and actually been able to play.
I think it was easy to forget as you watch the Celtics, like just how critically important Porzingis was to what made them excellent.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Totally. Well, and he could have come back last series, but they let him rest and train and get caught back up to game.
I mean, he
6.
could have come back not 100% last series.
He just needs to stay healthy for the series.
Yeah.
Although Horford's a great 5.
Horford is really
they
good.
were creating problems without Porzingis on the floor for him defensively. And Jaylen Brown has had such a great playoff run.
He was amazing.
He has.
And just playing with incredible confidence. He had that
That crossover
poster.
The dunk was insane.
Hit some big threes. Like they're
And
the
defended
Celtics just
Luka
have
very
guys.
well.
Yes.
The Celtics just have guys like Jason Tatum. We're talking about Derek White.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew Holiday was an afterthought.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's how they can defend the way that they do. It's like you ask a question like, how can the Thunder become this version of this team? Is like, well, they have the size and versatility and shooting at every position. Like that's how you do it.
Well, it's funny. You have, they're a 5-out team.
Yeah.
The Celtics. They're also, I don't know what you call it, but all 5 players on the court are also very good defenders at all times. Too.
Yeah.
So the whole team is 3-and-D with some stars on the team.
the way they play reminds me. Do you remember the Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner
The
movie,
Accountant.
The Town?
Oh.
You ever heard of that one?
The Town. Oh yeah. Huh. That's weird. They
Feels
do
like
kind of play.
They play just like that movie.
Interesting.
Just the way they play together.
Yeah.
Very Boston of them.
That is weird. They have the town energy. I wonder
The
why.
Town energy.
They have that because the coach watches every single play.
Yeah, if you're missing this, it's not that good anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I do like the movie though.
It is a good movie. I
Uh,
was trying to think. I was like, do they wear Austin Powers masks in that? No, it's like no, they dress up as nuns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Powers is Baby Driver.
Oh, that's
'Cause
right.
they're supposed to have Mike Myers masks.
Yeah.
They have Mike Myers, Austin Powers mask.
Baby Driver's a good movie.
It actually is.
Yeah.
Hurt by some Kevin Spacey accusations. That, like,
Oh,
right
I forgot
after that.
about that. Yeah. Ooh, Spacey.
there is a couple of former Thunder players that if the Celtics go on to win the title, will have rings.
Name them.
Svi?
Svi Mihailuk.
Oh,
Hold on, let me guess the other one. Oh gosh, I have no idea.
Anybody?
Not Muscala. He wasn't
No.
traded this year, was he?
He's on the team. He's on the
yeah.
Thunder.
He was traded this year.
No, I'm
He's on the
saying, but
Thunder.
like from there to
No, they're on the team currently. Like they
okay.
they will be on the court for the ring.
Don't look, don't look.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to.
Don't do it. That
Here,
Svi-
I'll look.
Svi and no idea. Gabby Deck.
Al Horford.
Oh yeah, dude.
Come on. Al Horford wasn't a Thunderman.
Isn't it? It feels weird to say that he played for the Thunder.
win.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I couldn't even name it.
It was the
This is the
2020.
future. This is the
2020 season.
This is the future Debbie Buckets loss for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
that
Don't
was
worry.
easy. Once you remember it, it's like, oh yeah, duh. It was the
Yeah.
year that like they literally
They
had a conversation
There's
where they're like, hey, let's bench you.
There's
And
like a headline where like, hey, just go home.
Horford's wife was like,
How about
yeah, the
going
Thunder
home?
were awesome. And it helped him. I mean, he's the reason he
Horford's
is
wife
today.
or sister?
Probably both.
Wife?
What?
No, it's two.
What are you
different
implying?
people. But it was his wife was like, hey, we were because somebody had mentioned it was one of those kind of like on Instagram, somebody said something about tanking and she
Yeah.
was like, no, the Thunder 100% talked to Al about this, and we were all in agreement. It's the right decision for him right
They're
now. And
like the anti-Haywards.
anti Hayward, it's the reason he's honestly like you could almost make that direct connection, like having that year to rest and make a really nice salary probably has made it to where he's had a longer career. Like he's been in the NBA forever.
It's a basketball sabbatical.
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Basketball sabbatical.
Basketball sabbatical.
So the other thing, just to kind of temper all of this a little bit, is
It's a basketball sabbatical.
to temper this.
I don't know why I said it like a Boston rapper.
Well,
To temper this a little bit, though, we have to remember that except for in the Minnesota Timberwolves series, Jason Kidd is terrible in game 1.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And the Thunder ran him over in game 1. I think the Clippers did as well.
Yeah. This just feels different because of the way they did it.
I agree.
I know.
it's
So what are you predicting after game 1?
I have Celtics in 6 is what I predicted.
Do you feel
Initially.
like that's too many games now?
It could be. I could see Celtics in 5.
I just the Mavs in Western Conference Finals did surprise me.
Yeah.
Like finishing that off in 5 was that surprised me.
Yeah, the Timberwolves looked horrible
Yeah.
in that series.
Kidd has always been an easy coach to make fun of, but this playoffs, it's like, all right, well,
What do you think
I
about
don't know. I guess he's just made that net like the actual, he's a good coach step.
What do you think about his fitted backwards hats?
I mean, it's fine because he was a player.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If he
Sure.
wasn't if he wasn't in the NBA and he wasn't Jason Kidd,
Yeah.
I wouldn't love
I
it.
used to wear a lot of fitted backwards hats.
It's good.
I
Yeah.
think this is the Jason
It's
Kidd
a different look.
You just
when
need
do
glasses
it.
on,
And they
and then
sit
you'll have
like-
the
they
Jason Kidd
sit-
look.
These hats particularly sit like it feels like they're way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so am I clothed? Do I look like Jason Kidd?
Yeah. Little
Yeah.
Fred Dursty.
Oh yeah.
Although not modern Fred Durst.
No.
he dresses like a cowboy now.
He dresses different.
He's 10 different outfits he
Yeah.
goes with.
It's-
It's totally
Have you seen
different looks.
Have you seen crowds are playing to now?
Wait, what?
There's the
What'd you
90s.
say?
Limp Bizkit.
There's a late
Crowds that they're playing to now.
No,
Have you seen Creed?
I don't know.
Creed is on the comeback train, man.
I know nothing about any of this.
Dude,
Oh,
Rock
man.
Rock is back.
Wow.
I just love Wes Borland,
he's great, man.
and that's what I think. Like, I think Fred Durst is doing like the costume thing because it's funny,
Mhm.
and like I'm into that. When he was dressed as a cowboy, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Because him with then Wes Borland, who always just looks hilarious.
Is he still wearing the
Oh,
contacts? Wes Borland?
I don't know. He still does a thing, like a makeup-y thing, a paint.
He's
body
got
paint
to.
thing. Yeah, he has
Yeah.
to.
All right.
It's Limp Bizkit playing to like knowing who they are
Mm-hmm.
is the best thing for them.
What are their crowds like? Have you seen their crowds
Packed.
like they're big?
Dude, they're playing festivals to like, I don't know, 50 to 70,000 people. It looks like those old festival videos where that you look out on the
Yeah.
crowd and it doesn't end.
Yeah.
It's like it's 2001 again.
It's
with
like,
Limp Bizkit crowds.
Didn't they do?
Wow.
What was the big festival they did that like they started a riot?
Woodstock,
Woodstock.
Yeah.
Woodstock 97,
99.
99, 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Rock on. Jaylen Brown was really good. Jason Tatum was classic Jason Tatum, where he's definitely the best player on the team, and then he
was great
has
to- Great on defense. Great
Yeah.
on the boards. Good
yeah,
moving the ball.
15, 11, and 5 was that his line?
16, 11, and 5.
Okay. Jaylen Brown though was like he was pretty unbelievable last night.
Yeah.
3 blocks. All 3 of those blocks were like momentum blocks.
He had a very loud game.
Yeah.
I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He was really good. And they got like good Hauser minutes off the bench. There were moments where I'm just like, I don't understand why Peyton Pritchard is getting minutes. But they survived them.
He's a gamer.
So I guess
Pritchard's a gamer, dude.
he's 07.
Yeah, but he doesn't stop shooting them.
Yeah. PJ Washington, guess how many threes he made last night?
0.
0.
No.
0 of 3. They took away all his corner threes. That's where he's been making his threes all playoffs. They took away all of them. He took some above the break threes, and it just did not feel natural. Derek Jones was 1 of 2 from 3. And
Kyrie 0-5.
Kyrie 0 of 5. Luka was 4 of 12. And then like they just didn't get production from anybody else.
Yeah.
So they took away the
Gafford
role
struggled.
players.
Gafford didn't really know what to
Gafford and Lively. It was like one of the first games where they both were pretty ineffective.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You watch some of what Porzingis was doing, and you're like, that's the stuff that I think Chet continues to unlock. And I don't think there's that far of a gap between Porzingis and Chet even right now. But just the way there was the one where I can't remember who was defending him, but he took him off the dribble and shooting with confidence. Like
he also has like the mid post game. That was like one of the things that was really
he was hitting
him
them with some Dirk shots, some
and
Dirk deep twos.
I just needed the reminder, and I know y'all talked about this. Is like, and even Mark said it in the post game or the postseason conference. Is like, this is the worst version of Chet you're going to get.
Yeah.
And just to see his development alone is going to be probably the Thunder need to continue to take it to the next level. I think they were just close enough where the angst amongst the fan base is already ramping up. But man, just you could see that like, oh, that's what it is. That's how you can really punish the way the Mavericks played. And Alex said that in a text thread. We were having a conversation about this because Taylor and I were firmly in the Dallas is going to run over Boston camp, and Alex is just like, I think that with Porzingis, they're going to make Dallas have to change their defense. And and game one, definitely true.
Does it?
He won a whole $10 parlay out of it.
Does it
Parlay.
hurt? Does it hurt you? Does it hurt that Dallas is playing so bad when they played so good?
No,
It doesn't hurt.
I mean, Boston's really freaking good.
I know, but does it hurt that they didn't play that bad against us?
but they're not. It's not that they're playing bad. They're just playing a team that is much better than them and deeper than them. Because like Dallas, they were getting this crazy production from their role players that was just unexpected all playoffs.
It's also what the Thunder gave them.
I'll say it hurts. I'll say it hurts a little bit because their role players did play above their heads in the series against the Thunder, in which the Thunder's game plan is a lot different than the Celtics game plan. But I don't think it was.
Would Derrick Jones have 17 in game 6?
I don't think it was like really any less effective. I just think that the shots that the Thunder were willing to give up and were saying like, hey, we don't believe you're going to beat us.
Yeah.
They beat them. Like that's what happened throughout that series is that they defended Luka and Kyrie better than anybody has throughout the entire playoffs.
It was so obvious once you watched Dallas play Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, we actually did really well, and their role players just hit their shots.
Yeah,
the entire series.
And the Celtics are saying like, hey, they didn't defend Kyrie that well. Kyrie just missed a lot of shots last night.
Right.
Kyrie did not play well, but a lot of it was like regular Kyrie shots that didn't go in.
Yeah.
They're saying like, we're going to shut the water off for everybody else. We're taking away your lobs. We're taking away the corner threes, and we're going to make you guys just beat us one-on-one.
Yeah, you even see that with Luka's 3-point attempts. You said he took 12.
Took 12. He had 1 assist last night.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Luka's the type of guy, he needs to get going in every facet of the offensive game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're the Thunder, like you can't do anything but tip your cap just because like they beat you. Like they beat you. They made the shots that you were allowing. And the Celtics are trying the inverse, and it's very much working. But this is the way that they've geared their defense all season. They gave up the least amount of corner threes throughout the entire playoffs. They gave up 6 per game throughout the entire playoffs. So this is like, and they did even better last night with what they normally do. But I think you can feel. I hope that the Thunder players feel a little frustrated with themselves because they also just didn't play very well offensively, and they need to be better next year.
Speaking of Kyrie, can you hit me with the touchdown?
Jimmy, I would have.
Take John's back to it bigger in a flurry. Take John's back to it bigger in a flurry.
Hey, I'm Tejon. This is my victory dictory. We mentioned Kyrie had a tough game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I know why.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Reddit. Kyrie Irving has lost 11 consecutive games against the Celtics since stepping on Lucky the Leprechaun. Do you remember when he stepped on the head of Lucky the Leprechaun?
Mm-hmm.
He's lost 11 consecutive games to the Celtics since then.
Wow.
So
So it's a curse.
it's a curse, which leads me to my greater question.
Is it a curse or is it karma?
No, it's a curse. This is why.
Okay.
I am of the belief that magic and curses only work if you believe in it. So if you don't believe that you can be cursed, you can't be cursed. But if
Okay.
you believe you can be cursed, you can be
And
cursed.
Kyrie
Mhm.
believes he can be cursed.
Kyrie absolutely believes he can be cursed.
Yeah.
Kyrie tries to curse other people.
Yeah. He is in I mean he's definitely matured and there's like a lot of really good things to say about him. Like watching him last night in the press conference, he's almost like a little too happy after that one. Where like
Secret agent.
you watch like Kobe and guys like that in the past who lose these games and like they're not happy. LeBron, like not happy after game. Like if you would have just watched the presser and just like watched his mannerisms and watched what he was doing, you wouldn't have had any idea that they just lost by 20.
Well, the Thunder were a little bit like that too.
But I'll say this too.
They-
The
yeah,
Thunder
they
were a
were-
little bit like that.
They were at times like
Yeah.
that.
And it's game one. It's game one.
It is game
They
one.
lose game ones.
They do. He was just a little bit too happy.
I'm not gonna. You can't hate him for finding his smile. You know.
Well, I
I'm
think
just-
he would always his response would be like, "Is he has a healthy perspective of basketball's place in his life?"
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say, I mean, it's not me, but I mean, Kyrie's achieved success at every single level that he's ever played, and so
Mhm.
like I get
And this
it.
is the best year he's had in what, 7
But it's
years?
still, I would like for somebody to be a little bit, like at least a little bit more. Just,
Bring that mic
deadpan.
down so we can see your face, Jay.
I don't want to.
Luke,
Well, like bring the arm.
you know
bring
what
the
they
arm
say,
down and
Luke?
You can angle it back up.
one
Trying
simple
to avoid
smile.
my face.
There we go. We want to see your face, Jay.
One simple smile will carry you a mile.
Did they say that?
Who says that?
Me, that's a T-Dick quote right there.
They say put your attitude on a smiling latitude.
Platitude.
That's not what they said.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
platitude?
Did you have a question?
My question is: do you also believe that curses only work if you believe in them?
I don't know.
I don't believe in curses. So
Okay, then then I believe they won't. You guys won't get cursed.
I believe
Don't worry.
I believe in curse words.
It's like ghosts.
Oh yeah,
Those
Those
definitely
work.
exist.
those work.
Those
Yeah.
work, baby. It's kind of like ghosts too. It's like the only people that get haunted like believe they can be haunted. They believe in ghosts, the spirit world.
Take John's back to a bigger victory. Is that true? Take John's back to a bigger victory. Do you believe in ghosts? You seem like a ghost guy.
I here's where I stand with ghosts. I don't want to say I don't believe in them out loud,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know. I don't
You
want to. I don't
respect
want to.
You respect ghosts.
I respect the possibility of ghosts, and I don't want to anger anybody. But I went as
You seen the
far.
movie 13 Ghosts?
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
okay.
Matthew, I like Matthew Lillard.
I do too.
So
And Tony
he's a good-
Shalhoub.
Yeah, it's fine.
Guys, not important. I have a story. A woman, the last woman that lived in
Hey,
my
hit the
house that we
button.
live in now, Tayshawn, hit a Tayshawn.
Jimmy,
Died in my house. Okay, and she
Okay.
Where you live right
was-
now?
Where I live right now.
was it?
When?
She died? This was like the
Last
last
week?
person to live there. This was like in the 90s, maybe, or the early 2000s.
That wasn't the last person that lived there.
Okay, the last person who
If she
owned.
died
I'm sorry. The last person who owned the house. I learned this from the guy who bought the house.
Okay.
So this happened a very
Yeah,
long time ago.
This happened in the 90s, but she was. How do you say?
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. She was a big one. Okay, and
That's
she
how you say it.
died.
Out of all of the choices you made,
Like,
you made the worst.
the
But
worst
listen,
choice that
here's
you
the
could have
story, though. Here's the story. She died in the bathroom. We have a small bathroom. Firemen had to go in there and like they had to break like the door apart to get her out because the bathroom is so small. This is a true story. And I was afraid maybe her spirit's still in the house and is embarrassed.
Dude.
So when I told my wife this story, I had to step outside of the house. My wife.
Dude,
My wife didn't like it.
We had to go outside of the house and she was like, "Why are you telling me this outside
Are
in
you-
front?" And I said, "I don't want to embarrass her if she's here."
Are you
So that's where I am.
Are you sure that they weren't just trying to tell you about the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
That's what I was about to say. It's What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Mama.
I've never seen the movie, so what happened?
Matt's
pretty
in
sure
the
it's
gas
almost
tank.
exact
Almost
same.
exactly
boom.
what you're describing.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting punked.
They were gonna have to. She was so large, they were gonna have to crane her out. And
Dude.
it would be embarrassing, so they burnt the house down.
I think that you got Gilbert graped.
Matt's in the gas
So I
tank.
live.
Boom, boom.
My wife.
My wife.
I
And,
want to climb it.
We lived in the house next door to where Taylor lives
Yeah.
for like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And we never heard that story. We knew the people that
Gilbert,
bought the house.
he loves
No, you
climbing
don't.
the
They
water
rented it.
The
tower.
water tower.
He
That's right.
loves
No,
to climb
really.
it.
Taylor?
Yep.
He keeps getting arrested. If he
Dude.
does it again, they're good at leave him in jail.
It's true. Listen. I don't think that you
You should
are
watch it.
haunted. I think that you got Gilbert graped.
You need to watch What's It Eating
Ugh.
Gilbert Grape.
So
So I got cursed.
I think you're just a victim of your own mind right now.
Yeah, you're
See, okay, I do believe that. That's kind of where all of this comes from. If you believe you can be cursed, it's kind of a placebo effect, right?
Yeah, that's what this is.
If you believe you can be cursed, you will be cursed.
now you just need to understand that you've been Gilbert graped.
Well, I guess I need to watch the movie
But
to
then if
understand
the
what
other
you mean.
thing, the other thing that I kind of think you're talking about is if you believe in curses or you believe in ghosts,
Ghosts.
you're looking
yeah,
for,
you're looking. You're gonna-
for validation of the curse or for the ghost.
absolutely.
You're hearing a creak and someone's like, "That's an old house." Someone's like, "Well, it's
I just thought it was your chair.
haunted."
your
Just
chair's
lose your-
haunted.
Haunted.
You're gonna find what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh huh.
All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll do some Twitter questions.
Mama.
The two guys.
And we're back from that quick break. It's time for some Twitter questions.
It's so sad when they find him in the bathtub. He's so cold.
Who's cold?
Gilbert.
Yeah.
No, Gilbert's Johnny Depp.
Where is that?
When they find Leo.
Twitter questions. You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Let's get down to it.
Jimmy, hey, y'all. Our first Twitter question is as follows. Hold on a second while I find it.
Just scroll down. That was it.
No. That's not going to get to it. That's not because I'm opening it in the website.
Andrew, how you
not
doing,
on
man?
Twitter.
I'm fine.
Anything new?
What's up?
What's your new adventure, man? What you working on?
My new adventure.
Yeah.
Saying up to
How's your
three.
finger? It's better. Better.
Oh God, it looks terrible.
No, it looks good.
It looks like they put someone else's finger on your finger.
It is a little swollen still.
No, it looks great.
I'm only wearing the brace part time.
Good
Okay.
for you.
Here is our first Twitter question. It's from @DudeBuffet, who wants to know, what is your funniest old draft belief? For example, I was so upset and jealous when the Jazz drafted Dante Exum. I was convinced they just got the next Kobe.
Oh, I really like that one. I mean, you could go back. You could go back to Kobe Buffkin. We don't even have to go back that far for me. I was a big Buffkin boy for sure. That
One's not. I don't think it's too early to make.
It's probably too early. It's probably too early. Let's see. Let's go back further.
Jared Bayless.
Jared Bayless. That was definitely one. Yeah, we can go back to
Mine was
those.
also DJ Augustine in that same draft.
Oh yeah, and DJ had a really good rookie season for Charlotte. And there were even points during the season where I was like, man, if they would have just taken DJ Augustine instead of Russell Westbrook, like things would have worked out a lot better for OKC. Yeah, that draft in particular, I remember having just opinions where, Presti talks about like Twitter people having only 10% of the information. I probably had like 0.5% of the information when it came to that draft. Because there just wasn't a lot of draft information at the time anyway. So you just like read about these guys. Like you read about OJ Mayo and you read about, like you watch Michael Beasley at Kansas State. You just think like, oh, these guys are going to be unbelievable.
Did you think that about Beasley?
I thought he was just going to be like a scoring monster. Like I thought he was going to be like Melo in the league.
Yeah.
Because he was, I mean, I think he was 26 and 12 at Kansas State, which is, I mean, that's a lot in college. I thought he was gonna be a monster. Russ was 12 and 4 for UCLA that year. Like I don't think I would have ever dreamed that Russ was like definitely going to be a better player than OJ Mayo and Michael Beasley.
Yeah.
In that draft, because OJ was 24 and 3 for USC. I mean, that was a crazy draft, and a real like leap of faith for the Thunder, because you look at just their raw stats of all the guys that got selected in the top 12. Like Russ has like the least amount of stats of any of those guys.
Wow.
It's just it's crazy that he turned into what he did.
It's also crazy that the Thunder drafted him at the pick that they drafted him at.
Yeah, at 4.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like if you would have said, hey, listen, somebody in the lottery is going to win the scoring title. Somebody in this lottery. Derrick Rose, Michael Beasley, OJ Mayo, Kevin Love, even like Eric Gordon, Jared Bayless, who scored 20 a game at Arizona. Like there's so many other guys that you would have said. And if you would have told me like on draft night, hey, it's going to be Russell Westbrook, you would have been like, what?
This is why, Andrew, stop wasting your time with the draft, man.
God, I love the draft.
I remember in 2013. Now, correct me if my memory is
2013.
Yes, 2013.
Yeah.
Weren't there rumors that the Thunder were going to trade up to like the second pick or third pick?
They were trying to get Oladipo.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I remember.
Which they eventually
that's
got
what
him.
really, but not at the right time. And then we drafted Steven Adams, and I remember I was really disappointed that
We all were.
Well, Jay and I did a podcast at my old house, and we sat there and did a podcast, and we just turned it off.
Yeah.
And Steve was great. I think we even back then were like, just not a traditional center.
Yeah, just like please don't.
Although at that point, I'm like, who else do we like? Shabazz Muhammad.
We like Shabazz Muhammad. That was probably the guy at that point in the draft that we knew about. He was also like a guy that was like well known in high school. That
he's like a high recruit.
Went to UCLA. Was like 18 points per game. Like give me that guy, not Steven Adams, who averaged 7 points per game for
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Do you remember though watching? Do you remember pre-draft? It was like, oh yeah, he's a guy who can shoot from mid-range too. There was like some reports about him being a jump shooting big. And I was like, no, this is not going to work. It's another curse stitch or something like that.
Well, it
ended up not being that at all.
We're not far off from drafting Cole Aldridge.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man.
I believed in Cole.
Yeah, that's what I think. We were a little bit scarred by the 2010 draft.
Yeah.
Where they picked
we mentioned Poku yet?
Poku?
Why would you mention Poku?
Just saying.
Dude, I'm still in, honestly.
It'll be great.
That's about our next Twitter question. It comes from @Sublime50Illus1, who wants to know, anyone else miss the Poku experience?
No, it represented a time as a Thunder fan that was a weird period.
It's a dark time.
No, just a weird time.
A weird year.
Weird year. Yeah.
Weird
couple years there.
He was definitely the perfect player to get us through the rebuild, because he's just like,
he's a character.
He's definitely a character, but he also has like all this potential where it's like, hey, honestly, anything can happen. This is great.
And what happened?
Not
much.
The bad thing happened. We always knew that like that was a possibility. It's like he's either going to be amazing or he's going to be out of the league. You know,
we thought maybe he was going to be the Twin Towers with Chet.
Yeah, I mean, they could technically bring him back.
I don't think we did that.
Yeah, we
talked about it.
It's still not over.
Once.
I mean,
it could still happen.
There's
Yeah,
still a
he's just
chance.
training.
The Thunder have the roster spots. Who knows?
Could happen.
They send him on excursion. That's what they do to professional wrestlers. They send them to another company to kind of
like putting players on loan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm back in.
Do they have to extend Poku this year, or just is he a free agent?
Poku?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a free agent.
Here's the
Like
thing.
unrestricted?
Here's the most frustrating thing for me
Nobody's
personally
signing
about
him.
Poku. I have 2 Poku shirts ready to go that now will never be released.
Mm-hmm.
And they took forever to get made. And then by the time they were made, he sucked and everyone was over Poku.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were waiting, like literally, this was like, I was waiting. Like, if he has a good game, we're going to release some Poku shirts. Never did.
I don't remember any of that.
Well,
do you remember?
Yeah, I
any of that?
do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, we never made the shirts, but he
We
had
didn't make the
designs
shirts.
ready.
I have the designs ready.
You got any connections in Charlotte
No.
in case they bring him back?
He was back here getting some of his stuff apparently, and I got a text from Carson Cunningham, who was in line at the airport, and Poku was also in line at the airport, trying to get out of here.
Wow. That.
No TSA pre-check for Poku. He's just in.
Do you guys have
regular
TSA
line.
pre-check?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
No.
Do you?
I don't fly
Do
now.
you?
I don't fly enough to do it.
How is it?
I mean, it's great.
I would love it.
I did it. So
When have you ever had to wait that long though? At Oklahoma City.
In Oklahoma City, you don't have to wait
I
very
don't
long.
fly very well. I don't travel very
You
well.
also don't take your shoes off. You don't have to pull your laptop out of your bag
You don't have to pull your laptop out of your bag for regular
anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you have
Well,
to. You don't always have to take your shoes off either.
Or for regular, you don't either.
How about that? Yeah. They must be done with it.
Well, they have different things now where you go like this and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have to walk in front of the dog. That
So we-
smells you.
I used to travel quite a bit for school for my grad program, and so that's when I got it because I was in Orlando a lot, and the Orlando airport is insane,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and so I would get TSA pre-check so I could just skedaddle on by.
Yeah.
But now there's so many people that get TSA pre-check, like
It's like equal.
I mean,
It's like, is it
I was
any
in Denver,
better?
coming out of Denver not too long ago, and TSA pre-check line I was in for over an hour. It's
You know
Well,
what
you
they
gotta-
say? Get pre-check, you flee to the jet.
Nobody
What's our
said
next
that.
question?
All right, our next Twitter question comes from @Caleb_T_Jones__, who wants to know, can you list 5 teams that might want Giddey?
Yeah. I don't know if I can get 5, but we can name a few.
Number 1.
The
Spurs feels
Nets.
obvious.
Utah Jazz,
Jazz.
Number 2 and 3.
number 1 on my list. San
Okay.
Antonio is probably 2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Washington is probably 3.
That makes sad sense.
I don't know that the Nets have interest in him. The Nets make sense for players that the Thunder like, or at least that we like for the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily. I think that they want good, proven players on their team to play with Mikal Bridges. So
Josh Giddey.
yeah,
We know that about Josh. Do you think the rest of the league thinks that way?
I
listen,
think it's probably split.
they already have a big Australian point guard on their team that makes a lot of money.
Good day.
When's his contract over?
I think this is his last year. This upcoming season is
Good
his last
eye,
year.
I heard he's
Brooklyn?
had a great offseason because
He-
it's been for the entire last season.
Yeah, he makes $40 million next year. Ben Simmons does.
Does anybody sign him?
I mean,
Yeah.
somebody may give him a chance, but they shouldn't. Guy has so many nicknames. Simo the Savage, Young Socialite, Fresh Prince,
Simo the Savage,
Peacemaker, Benny,
Peacemaker,
the Yank,
the Yank,
Big Ben,
Big Ben,
the Wizard of Oz.
But
the
he
Wizard of Oz.
He doesn't have an Australian accent, does he?
Kinda, yeah.
I don't know.
Ben Simmons. It's not American.
I don't know, Jay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, South African.
All right, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from
Weird
Caleb,
transition number 2.
Caleb
Actually, number 3.
_T_Jones_, who wants to know, who do you think Presty you would draft if he had the number 1 pick?
Who would Presty draft if he had the number 1 pick? That's a fun question.
Oh, God.
Inform us, Andrew.
You probably just take Sar, I guess. Sar
I
can
believe you now.
Sar can make you a little weirder because he can move pretty well.
What? Snarkin?
Excuse me? Are you snarfing?
Listen, Jay,
Snarking.
probably Alexander Sar.
Snarking.
Snarkin.
Sarkin.
You haven't heard of him?
Sarkin. Aaron Sorkin.
Baron Harkonnen.
I also really like Stefan Castle. If they took Matas Buzelis, I would understand it because he's 6'10", really athletic. It's probably one of those guys. I'm glad they don't have to choose.
Klingen.
I know.
Give me Klingen.
God,
Number 1 overall.
Yeah, why not?
Jay, come on.
Jake.
Why would you want Klingen number
He
one?
wants Snarkin number
I
1.
don't actually.
You want to take Snarkin?
I think Castle probably is the guy I would take.
I like Castle. I don't know that Castle would like to be on the Thunder
Frank
because
Castle, the Punisher.
I don't think he would want to be on the Thunder either.
Punisher.
Because he's only working out for teams that don't have point guards or that need point guards.
Dude, he doesn't even hear it.
If you were just able to stand, like, just sit still.
The mics don't pick it up though.
Hey guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from @Benelephant King.
Who is Sam going to take at 12?
I have no idea.
You think Saloon, man? I feel it in my bones.
If he's available. Some people think he will be gone by 8. So
Zach Edey it is.
So the only other option is Zach
All
Edey.
right, Saloon or Edey.
If they take him, I'm only referring to him as Shaq.
There's
Edey.
no way Zach Edey is coming.
We need
to the Oklahoma
Saloon
City Thunder.
because
absolutely no way.
we have a shirt ready for Saloon.
So Shaq Edey. We'll make the Shaq Edey shirt.
Hey guys,
if he's selected by the Thunder.
our next Twitter question is: are you rooting for Boston or against Dallas?
I'm rooting for Boston. My whole family decided before the game started last night. We're all rooting for Boston.
Do you cheer the entire time in a Boston accent?
No, but we should.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to do it. Just think about Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
That's a big Boston thing.
Ben Affleck.
Casey Affleck has a great skit on SNL about Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Luke, I thought you were going to come back with me here.
No.
You said Ben Affleck.
Nope, that was
Ben
it.
Affleck.
That's all he's got.
Man, that my chat
I
is
was
really
pulling.
squeaky.
I honestly was pulling for Dallas until I came to my senses, and now I'm most definitely pulling for
Yeah,
Boston.
we definitely want
It's hard to
Why
pull
do-
for Boston though. They've got like 35 championships.
Guys,
Don't pull. You don't have to pull for Boston. You don't have to cheer for Boston.
Guys.
Just watch it as a basketball fan.
I didn't even watch last night. Actually,
Yeah.
Gotta
Ugh.
confess.
guys, we have our next Twitter
You
question.
fool.
Oh,
Luke-
we have a super chat actually.
Luke,
that
you
we
watch
can
any
go to.
softball?
No.
Cameron in the chat, super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Says, I know it's not realistic, but what is the most you would give up for Kevin Durant? I believe he is not a team or culture killer. If the team/culture is set.
I would give
That's
him-
what our next Twitter question was about.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Read it.
What's their question?
It's from @MeLoveThundamo. I see this narrative going around quite often. Talk through the trading for KD thing, the costs, the pros, the cons, the fit, the feels, the legacy, all of it. Have the discussion. It's time.
I wonder with just how inept the Phoenix front office is. Like, I can't see that they would have a high value for draft picks. So I feel like it would have to be a team that's ready to get rid of somebody.
Mhm.
It'd have to be 3-team in my mind, where picks go to a team that's ready to rebuild, but the players are exchanged between the Suns, the Thunder, right? So KD goes to the Thunder for like 4 firsts and Case and Wallace or something.
It'd probably be like Giddey, Kaysen, 3 firsts, and then
And then getting Case and get moved to somewhere so that Phoenix can get a guy that's old and is going to lead them nowhere.
yeah, you can. I mean, Phoenix can trade those guys, or they can try to play them,
I just don't think they're ready. They're just in no way want to take.
If you trade Kevin, though, Devin Booker's only 27 years old. It's not like
That's
I just
insane
know
to
the way
me.
they're rebuilding or the way they're trying to do their team. It's like you would have to move them to Minnesota for Cat.
I don't know. I don't think we know enough about this ownership. What we know is he's an insane person that's very extreme.
Yeah,
So it could
that
swing
feels like
the other
enough.
way.
No
it
way.
could swing the
There's
other
no way he invests this much into the team to lead them into a rebuild around Devin Booker.
It's a nice get out of jail free card for them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Kevin's only got 2 years left. Like Phoenix is not winning the title in the next 2 years.
No.
Like it's just not happening. And so if you're Phoenix and you're given 3 first rounders or 2 first rounders, Giddey and Case and Wallace, like that's maybe the best that you can get for Kevin on the
Yeah.
market right now. Like I don't know that anybody else can give you 2 young, good players
Mm-hmm.
and draft picks that are meaningful for an aging Kevin Durant. You know,
All right, so now let's move to the next point, which is if we were to trade for Kevin Durant, how would you feel about his fit in the culture? Would he mess up the culture? All this
dude,
stuff.
I mean, I think I feel like I've talked about this a lot. I just don't think it's worth doing because like obviously it makes you a much better team. It obviously if they dealt for him over the summer, like the Thunder would immediately become the favorite in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I think like that is simple to say. But I just like watch this team. It's hard for me to imagine them with Kevin on there. And I guess part of what would be fine about it is like Kevin is not a leader. Kevin is not the leader. He's not going to come in and try to demand leadership. He's not LeBron, you know, where everything has to be about LeBron when he comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like
Mm-hmm.
I just think like it's what it is. It's just like it's a lifeline to Kevin because I think that I would pick them to win the NBA championship if they got him. And then Kevin gets to come back. He gets to tie a nice little bow on his career. Like things work out great for Kevin. I think the Thunder could still win the title without him. It's not going to be as easy, certainly. I mean, if in place of Josh Giddey and Case and Wallace probably aren't ready to help you win a title yet. Kevin Durant obviously is. And what do we talk about all the time? What do the Thunder need? They need a tall forward that can defend and shoot.
And rebound.
And rebound.
Oh man.
He can do those things.
And he can move, and he moves the ball.
And yeah, I think that he obviously
This is Kevin Durant we're talking about.
it's like the best it's the best version of that player possible that's in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
That has a willingness, at least on his side. I don't know that the Thunder have a willingness on their side to make this happen. I do believe from lots of things that I've heard that Kevin Durant wants to be a part of the Thunder again. I don't know that is reciprocated.
I'm kind of getting like
I don't know that
I'm
that's
kind of getting
reciprocated.
juiced up about this.
But like the Thunder,
Sound juiced up.
I mean, we've talked about it all the time. Like the Thunder have all the assets in the world. They have
It's time to just accumulate more assets.
they have a player in Josh Giddey who I believe less and less is long for the Thunder. You do have, I think, trading Kaysen would not be. I don't want to have to trade Kaysen Wallace, but in this case, you would have to.
Well, crap. Can't you get? I mean, he's not going to be Kaysen, but aren't there guys in that 12 range that you've been talking about that like?
Yeah, but if you're Phoenix, you're like, we already know Kaysen Wallace is good. Give me that guy.
No. But I'm saying for the Thunder, like,
Oh,
could
if
you,
you can
could you
keep-
replace
if you
Kaysen
trade
Wallace's?
If you can keep the 12th pick, I mean, then I would. I mean, yeah, there's guys there. I would just take Devin Carter like right away.
Not Dalton Connect,
Dalton Connect, no.
not Zach Edey.
Not Shaq Edey. I would take McCain or I would take Devin Carter if they had to trade Case and Wallace.
Here's the thing. I think if it happened, I think initially it'd be like, I don't know. But then I think after watching like the first 10 games, be like, I'm all in.
no,
Dude.
the first 10 seconds.
Dude, we everybody would be all in immediately. Once
just like
once
we're
the-
phenomenal.
If the Thunder decided to do it, which I still just have a hard time getting there. But if they decided to do it, then you'd have to be all in. Then it would mean that like they've gotten like the thumbs up from the big three. You know,
Yeah.
Chet and him are obviously like close. And they work out in the summers together. There's obviously something there with those two
Also,
that has existed for a while.
every superstar in the NBA talks to each other. So Shea and KD have a relationship. You just don't know it because Shea is so understated with his social life.
Well, I
and
mean,
everything like that.
they all have some kind of relationship. I don't know what the relationship is between those two in
Dude,
particular.
But they went on banana boat together.
The thing
they went on banana boat
They
together.
went on banana boat.
I
Have you ever
I
been
don't
on-
know.
It's like the tube.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on one?
No, I'd
I've
love to.
I've been on a hot dog before.
But the
Really?
banana, the
Sorry.
banana,
A glizzy.
the banana is awesome. My friend growing up had a banana. It was the best. The big banana.
Yeah.
Too much information about your friend.
Listen, all in, man. Pull the trigger, make it happen. Let's see if we can do this before draft.
I know you
night.
kind of talked me into it. All my fears now.
I
you going through it, I'm
wonder
like,
what
yeah.
the fan base's reaction. I think 90% of the people will be like, "Holy crap!"
I think everybody would be.
And then the pink parrot guy will just be like,
Yeah, Pink
Yeah.
Parrot guy can't go to games if Kevin Durant
Can't.
is traded here.
"Got to
Yeah.
ban him from the ring."
That's part of the trade.
I wonder what Sam
KD
thinks.
God,
Like
he
that-
is-
I could see Sam having some pride in this of just like,
Dude, I personally want to win a title without him, and I've said this on this show many times. Like, I would like for Kevin to watch the Thunder win a title while he's at home.
you know what I would rather have though?
What?
An NBA title.
Yeah.
Like, I listen.
Yeah.
In general,
This is me being. I feel like this group is really special.
I don't disagree, but why
outside
not
of
just
Kevin.
take it to the nth degree by adding the perfect piece?
Yeah.
If you could take your I know this is impossible. Just go with me on
Hold
this.
on, Hoopstock 69 has an important question. Is the
What?
Pink Parrot guy the courtside tattoo guy? No,
No.
No,
he's
no.
definitely not.
No.
Yeah,
Pink Parrot is a giant.
the
he's
Pink
like
Parrot guy.
6'10".
He's bald.
Yeah,
He always
course-
wears something without sleeves as well, but he sits opposite
opposite
of
side
the tattoo
yeah.
guy. He sits behind the bench.
Yeah.
And he will yell at players and refs to the point where you can hear him.
He's an insane.
If you don't know why we're talking about him with Kevin Durant, when
Yeah.
Kevin Durant was leaving, he went to his house. Pink Parrot guy
yeah,
went to his house. He put up signs in his front yard. He did all sorts.
He
of
lit his
insane-
jersey on fire
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
front of his house.
yeah,
Yeah.
This is
Crazy.
It's insanity. Anyways, go ahead, Taylor. Sorry.
Guys, I gotta go to work.
You freaking loser.
Oh.
Well, whatever happens, just make it more of a silent exit.
Hey, here's the thing. Taylor needs some food.
I do. My tummy.
We've got the hungriest boy right here.
Need some Eggos.
His stomach
What
is
kind you got?
Just regular
Did you let
Eggos.
go?
his stomach and my seat
my
are
Eggo.
having their own podcast.
Yeah, good.
They're talking to each other,
Yeah.
and it's pretty good.
It's like, I'm hungry.
Hey guys, are you miffed? Are you piffed?
Miffed and peeved.
It's been a while since we've been together.
It has been. I'm not miffed. I'm
Just leave.
grateful and blessed because we're all together
go.
again.
Hey, do me a
And now I
favor.
want you to leave.
See if you can, hit that chair against the wall a few times. There's the piece that's squeaking.
Fixed it.
No.
All right, are you guys miffed?
Oh, guys, I made a big mistake yesterday. I was mowing the lawn
Mm-hmm.
while Kate was at work. I was like, she's gonna be so happy when she comes home
Mm-hmm.
because I just mowed the whole lawn. It looks great. She comes home. She's like, thanks for mowing the lawn, but you mowed over all of my wildflowers that I planted.
Oh no!
I
Hey,
forgot
Sean.
because they hadn't flowered yet. So to me, they just looked like weeds.
Yeah.
So I took them out.
And then you put round.
You run
she
over a
planted
flower
them.
bed?
No, she planted them around the tree in the front yard. So I weed eated them.
Like, get him down. Get him down
I
to
got
the
this.
ground. They should grow
I was
back
like,
up.
I'm gonna make this tree look so nice. It's all gonna be level.
God, that's
Should they grow back?
hilarious.
I don't know. I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping so.
That
I
is
have a
so
friend
funny.
that she's been in the flower industry forever. Family's in the flower industry, and they do one of those pollinator front yards.
Oh
where
yeah,
they
yeah.
try to let it grow
Oh,
up, but
yeah.
purposefully. And it's
Yeah.
like I don't think I could ever do it, but it's really neat
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see, and it's very fitting for them. They
Yeah.
have like a pathway for their sidewalk, but on both sides of it is just like
Yeah.
the as 6 foot tall, like not weeds, but like grasses and flowers and all those
Mhm.
different things
Yeah.
for the purpose of.
I couldn't do that just because I just now all I can this week now all I can think about is ticks.
Oh,
my
You got them
dog-
ticks?
My dog had a tick
oh no.
that like we
got
didn't.
big.
It got so big. Have you seen those
And
when they
they're
get
white.
big? It was like purple.
yeah. Oh gosh.
Dude, it's one of the grossest things to ever
Yeah,
exist.
they just fill up.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate ticks.
I haven't seen that in a
It's-
very long time.
Dude, it was so.
I'm assuming out here you've got some.
we got some ticks, man.
If you don't know where Andrew lives, his address. No, he is. He lives. It's just a lot of like woodsy areas. Like it's a lot of land that you live by.
yeah,
Every time I drive in, I'm like, there's just a lot of wildlife and birds and
yeah. There was like a deer that ran through our neighborhood the other night. I was like, what
carrying
is
a
that?
tick.
Like, what's going on here? Dude, the
Yeah.
Threw it
tick-
on your dog.
That's-
So
ticks.
I was doing a podcast with Bryce Simon, who's on Game Theory. I was doing this for the Dream Team show. We talked about the draft. It was really good. Bryce is great,
Is he
but
the
I had
Detroit guy.
I had to like pause the podcast in the middle because Amy like came in. She was like, "You have to come in here.
Our dog's body is 80%
There-
tick now.
There is this tick that is so big," and I went in there and it was so disgusting. I was so miffed. It was so gross. Anyways, now I'm gonna scalp my backyard
Yeah.
and like spray it down.
Yeah.
this
one
weekend.
time I went hiking and it was backpacking. So I was like wearing the same clothes for a couple days, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So I come back, I finally make it home. I'm gonna shower for the first time in 4 days or whatever. Take off all my clothes, look in the mirror, see all these little like black dots around my waistline.
No way.
They were all tick. It was
No.
probably 20 ticks.
No.
Because you know, they try to go to like the darkest, like a
Warm.
crevice.
They're going there. They're
Warm
getting in the
moisture, yeah.
crevices, man.
Yeah. And I had like a you know,
Yeah.
and you just
How do you
like
get rid of them?
you just pick them. They weren't. You have to pinch the skin to make sure the head comes out.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
So I'm just going ham on my waist, on my belt.
I've also
line.
heard there's like things you like people swear by like peppermint essential oils and stuff like that.
You can get like fire up to them.
I was going to say you can burn them off too.
That's what I
They'll
do,
pull their
just-
head out. Yeah.
Yeah, I like took a lighter to like some tweezers and like
Oh,
got
yeah.
it really hot and then picked it off.
How's your dog?
She's cool.
She's just hanging out.
Yeah, she's just chilling. She has no idea.
Yeah.
You remember that time I sent a text to Andrew? Andrew was fishing with his boys at the pond behind the house
Yeah.
here and pulled out a big old catfish.
Big old catfish, 20-inch
old-
catfish.
Big old catfish.
Big old cat.
And I said, you just better keep that
Dude,
hot dog and hook away from your dog. And Andrew's like, yeah, I have my dog locked in the basement right now.
yeah, I was like, just keep her away
I don't
from
remember
us.
he had a myth and peep where the dog
Oh.
ate the
Dude,
Hot dog.
your
It's the
dog has
worst.
almost died 20 times.
Yeah, she's a survivor, man.
She's a survivor.
Speaking of the Game Theory show, I don't know if you caught this yesterday. Bassini talked about Giddy. Did you guys see this? So he talked about Josh Giddy.
I saw Ryan Stiles posted it.
Yep, friend of the program, Rylan Stiles posted it. That one, he didn't think Giddy was going to get an extension, and two, he was talking about Giddy's trade value on the show, and where he put it was a late first round pick in this draft and a future second rounder. So
Okay.
he had them picking at, I guess maybe it was with Washington at 26, and he had them selecting Pacome Daddier, which is just like really like funny because he's like this like he's an international player, he's super young, he's 18. I don't know. He's kind of he's a mystery man in some ways. But what would you think if like that's what happened? Like we talked about, like obviously like this like
depressed.
we talked about like this big like trade that involved Kevin Durant, and like if it's Josh Giddey for Kevin Durant as a part of the deal, like yes, I think everybody is
Yeah.
like fully on board with that, gets it, whatever.
I think the perception would be, I think Josh has a value probably better than that in my mind.
Yeah.
League wide, apparently, like Sam would know, like league wide, it's obviously not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but if you're not attaching a pick,
Mm-hmm.
I think that probably, although I hate it, is fair. And
Yeah.
makes sense. But man, that would be just a letdown.
He was the 6th overall pick.
8th.
Yeah,
right?
Eight?
six.
Six.
I
So to me, that just feels like a failure for everyone involved.
Yeah, I don't like it. I also just think he has better value than that. 4 teams that would want him. I also, at this point, would want a player back and not a pick back.
Yeah.
Like this
This
Thunder
is
team
this is quite the turn for you, Andrew.
it's a little bit of a
You're a
turn.
pickman. You're a huge pickman.
I'm a pick.
You've been fair.
Pickman.
I feel like you're being painted as not by Jay, but in general,
But me,
especially
me.
by Jay.
Hey, you did a good
specifically.
job on Wednesday trying to be like, hey, I'm going to be open to all of these ideas.
I was trying to
You've always been open to all the
Because
ideas.
I was yelling at you. Listening to the Alex pod from last week, I was like, I can't wait to get back and just scream at Andrew on the pod. If you were just Mr. Poo Poo, you're poo pooing everything.
I don't agree. I'm not trying to be a.
Stop trying to be his friend.
I'm not.
This is where we
Will you
become
be my
enemies.
friend?
I'll
This
be
is
your
where this is where we end episode 1 and we move on to episode 2. The
Star
Empire
Wars.
Strikes Back.
I'm trying to be realistic as I can, and I will definitely shift when I have different information. Is all I have to say, I guess.
That's a little trick for y'all watching.
What he's doing with his phone?
No,
Yep.
it's a little
Check
tip.
Yeah, I would not be happy about that either. I would not be happy about the
No,
26
it
pick.
sucks. It's
That would
sad.
be really boring. And especially like Become Daddy, like whatever you think about him, but it's like, man, we're taking an 18-year-old that we know is probably not going to contribute to the team. It's probably going to be on the blue next year. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
You know.
The Thunder switch. They can be aggressive in trying to acquire players when the
Yeah.
time is right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we still, and I feel like Sam is really smart. I'll say I'm not
Yeah.
just calling out
And
or
Sam,
talking about Sam.
Sam also has reasons to say what he's saying. He's
Yes.
not just. It's not just something coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. But I do feel like there's Pressy always gets this thing of like, oh, he's just gonna do this. He's just doing this for for job security, for the future of the Thunder, for whatever.
I hate that take. That is
They've
the dumbest
been
take.
aggressive before. When it's time to be aggressive, they're
Scared money
aggressive.
don't make none.
Scared money don't make none. Exactly.
Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins,
Dude.
Cole Aldrich.
I was about to do it, but then
No.
I decided
But
against
no, I mean, and they have an opportunity. They have a
Kendrick Perkins saying that.
they have a real opportunity here
Yeah, good call.
to get a role player that makes sense.
Yeah,
For
Kevin
them.
Durant.
Just go get Kevin Durant, a role player that makes sense. No, I mean, like even I just wonder if this is a time where you offer stuff to Brooklyn for like Dorian Finney-Smith, who's like 6'7" power forward that can shoot it and defend.
Yeah.
I just
know,
want a bigger guy.
Somebody like that, you know, Cam Johnson. If you're into Cam Johnson,
I just
Fine.
want. I just want someone bigger.
yeah, I just think, and I would prefer a guy like Finney-Smith just because of the defense and the length and the athleticism. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Giddey may go into the lab and come back and be a better player next year. He's only 21 years old. There's a good chance that happens. And so like, you know, last week I think I said I was 90% sure that Giddey's going to be back. I'm definitely less sure about that today than I was last week. But I still think there's something that is like tying the Thunder and Giddey together. Will that keep him in Oklahoma City? I don't know. There's still like an affinity from both sides. I believe that has existed since they drafted him. And so like I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Josh. But I do think that there's less of a chance of him being back here than I did previously. So we'll see what happens. I do think like they have an opportunity to really improve their team. I think that you look at like the Mavs aren't some like unsurmountable team, you know. Like if I'd be very shocked if the Mavs are the team to get back to the finals next year again.
Oh,
From the West.
No, they're kind of proven. I mean, this is they went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years. They missed the playoffs the next year. You know, it's like they're not consistently great. I think you're gonna have the Nuggets again, but the Nuggets have some roster stuff they have to figure out.
Definitely.
Like,
And they're getting
Timberwolves
really
have some roster stuff to figure out.
Yeah.
Grizzlies are going to be better. Rockets are going to be better. Thunder. I mean, there's some things where you're like,
There's an
Thunder
opportunity.
could be
There's
the preseason favorite for the West again.
There's a real opportunity.
But
There's
a
real opportunity.
couple small peripheral moves is probably what I would assume happened this year.
Kevin Durant.
And Kevin Durant, maybe LeBron and Bronny. But I think just a couple moves on the peripheral of this team and one more year of growth really does change. Like, because the goal is what?
To win a championship.
To win a championship.
Yeah. If you
get there
To collect as many assets and picks as possible.
If you can get a big forward, which is just what, like, it's so obvious that's what they need.
There's just not a ton of them out there. Like, even looking at what you all have done so far with the Northwest Division, it's like,
in the Northwest Division, there's not a lot.
I don't know. I mean, who's out there that somebody's going to get rid of? You got somebody on the docket for me?
Towns.
Just stay tuned in.
You want Towns?
Stay tuned in.
No, I don't want Towns.
You sure?
Golly.
For what, $100 million?
Or just like ruin your franchise money?
No.
Yeah. I mean, really, the only place he's going is New York.
Yeah. And we'll take Julius Randle.
No.
Just fresh off of a season-ending injury. Let's get him. I don't want Julius Randle. I don't want anybody that's I know, except for Robert Williams now.
Oh, you like the Robert Williams talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time Lord, man.
He only makes $12 million.
Yeah, because he doesn't play.
Yeah, the injury stuff is really scary.
Yeah, he doesn't play basketball.
But you don't need him. You don't need him for huge stretches. Like, he's
I know, it's just
perfectly
But you might not get him when you need him.
But then it's like the timing.
He's just getting injured in practices.
Like, can you if he gets injured in January and misses a month, it's like whatever. But if he's hurt in April and misses a month, then it's like, well, now what? You know? Like that's why. I mean, I definitely like the idea of him, and like the best case scenario for him is amazing for the Thunder. But are the Thunder willing to give up assets for something that is like a risk like that? I just don't know.
What about Josh Giddey in the 12th pick for Danny Advia?
That's a lot to give up for Denny. Denny is like being almost like deified by the Thunder fan base right now as like this was the perfect guy.
How different is Denny from Dario Saric?
A much more of a wing than Dario ever has been.
Denny.
What about Josh and the 12th pick for Dario Saric?
Hey, I think you can get that deal done.
Is Dario even under contract anymore?
I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. We do know the Warriors. The Warriors are another team that had interest in Josh and probably still have interest in Josh, by the way.
Yeah.
Just for everybody to be aware.
Sure, they can have him. I'll take Steph.
We'll just take the guy Stephen Curry.
Take Draymond.
Oh,
No.
dude. Draymond, no. That would be awful.
Can you imagine you're talking about possibilities of like KD coming here and then you start the season with Draymond Green starting at power forward?
I
I might follow somebody else.
might start a Rockets podcast if that happened.
Okay, that's too far.
That's
Now you've gone too far.
all right.
He's big though. He's almost 6'10".
He's a big.
Yeah, he's prime Gallinari, dude. You want prime Gallinari?
You want prime Gallinari? Have you seen his workouts from this summer? Starting to float around Thunder Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's a nice player, and like he would fit certainly what the Thunder do. I don't know. I've actually messaged Josh Robbins about this, asking him what he thought the willingness of the Wizards would be to do a deal like that. And he didn't think it was likely that they would trade him this summer, but it would take like valuable picks in 2020 in the 2025 draft or the 2026 draft is what it would take to get him. Like they're not necessarily like, I don't know that they would do I don't know if they would trade Josh for Denny straight up. I don't know. I don't have a feel for that at all. But I do know that, like, if you're Will Dawkins and you're wanting to change your team, you want picks in these valuable drafts in 2025. And if you're the Thunder, you're like, listen, we want to have sustained success. And so we actually want to keep those picks in case something happens with
Yeah.
one of them.
If there's and also if there's a better.
And you're not going to do that for Denny Avdia. Like, I'm sorry.
No.
Like, Denny is a nice player, but it's not something he's not going to come here. It's like he's the piece that's going to lock everything in. And like, now we're a championship contender. Like, Denny's got some flaws. Like, he's not the best shooter, you know?
No, his career like lower than Josh, I think.
I just don't know. I like the idea of him, but in practice, I don't know. He also could be like the latest wizard to go somewhere else that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know? So like, I'm not sitting here saying that I know he's not going to be good. Like, he could be great here. He could be the missing piece, and his contract is amazing. There's like a lot of things to like about him. I just don't know. And I don't know what the willingness of the Thunder is to give up major assets for him, because I think it would take major assets to get him. So, all right. Anything else before we go?
No. If you want Big Dog's teas, they're online and available.
Also, we are going to have a draft party.
Yeah.
Draft party.
Draft party.
We should have gotten to this at the front of this episode.
I
Probably.
know. Maybe we need to record something for the front of the episode.
Jones
after
Assembly.
this.
It's June 26th, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
June 26th. The draft starts at 7. Jones Assembly will be on the patio. They have committed, I think, food and drink situation.
Yeah.
If you came
Yeah.
to the lottery party, will be way better. But let's call it for June 26th, 7:00 draft starts. Thunder won't be picking probably till 8. So show up sometime between 6:30 and enjoy the draft with your best friends.
Listen, you don't want to be at home watching the draft, telling your wife or your kids or your dog how excited you are
Exactly.
about this draft pick that nobody has any clue or any care of
They
what
don't
you're,
want to hear
of what
about
you're
it,
talking about.
especially your dog.
Listen,
Unless you're like, oh, little boy, we got the number 12 pick,
Listen,
guy.
I know there's people that would do that. Don't do that. Come to the Jones Assembly, hang out with us, and you can actually talk to people that know who these draft guys are. And it's very fun. It's been a fun event that we've done for a long time now. So be sure to join us at the Jones Assembly the night of the draft. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys again on Monday.